All right. What is up, everybody? Welcome back or welcome to Optimal Self Live. Before we get going, everyone, where you're at this moment, stop what you're doing, like, subscribe, put something in there, mark this in your calendar, come back, see it, wherever this is, whatever platform you're on. Are you on YouTube? Are you on Facebook? Maybe you're in one of our platforms that has our podcast, right? Wherever you are, do me this huge favor right now, right out of the gate, before we get into today's topic, and like, subscribe. If you can, leave us a review. We appreciate it. We love it. I cannot thank you enough. All right. All right. So that's the housekeeping stuff. But let me just finish with this. As always, if you jump over to optimalself.today, you can get in, you can get the first 4 principles. You also get into the private group for free, and you get to see everything that's coming and all the little details that we're rolling out little by little. So we'd love to have you. Jump over to optimalself.today. All it takes is an email and you're in, and I hope to see you there. All right. And speaking of which, is going to bring us to our word of the day, to our topic of the day, which is invest. Everything that I just said to you right now is what? You investing in you. Most people have a struggle with that. But what truly is invest? What is it? It's simple. It's to commit in order to gain a return. So what can you do? What can you actually invest? What are things that come to mind, right? Things like time, things like money, maybe energy, your effort, your intellect. What are the things that you can truly invest and gain a return? And it doesn't always have to be some crazy return that we get. We don't do things expecting a return, right? We want to actually reduce that in our lives. We want to reduce expectations. We want to eliminate the scoreboards of life in the sense that I'm doing something, expecting something in return, because then we're always disappointed. But what I really want you guys to get today, or I really want to ask you is, so there's a guy named Morgan Housel. He wrote the Psychology of Money. And one of the things that he talks about in there with investing from a financial perspective is what he talks about is when people invest, that one of the major performance indicators is time, meaning how long I do it. And something else that correlates is how they feel about that company. So in other words, what he's saying is when you invest, when somebody puts their hard-earned money and they invest in a company, it's usually in the belief of the company, the mission of the company, what this company is bringing to the world, and maybe how they help people, or anything like that. And the thing is that as we know, life is going to have its ups and it's going to have its downs. But when we have that true belief in something that we invest in, if we're really, truly tied to it in our heart and in our mind, that in those rocky times, when the waters are tough, when the seas are really, everything's crashing over our boat, that we can stay the course. Because the longevity is where you win. The longevity, right? Because imagine if you watch, what's the hot thing today? Bitcoin, right? If you sat there and watched it every minute, man, that thing is jumping all over the place. It could move literally $10,000 in a few hours. I've seen it drop $7,000 in a minute, right? That's high volatility. So the people that don't believe in the currency, they're jumping off the boat as fast as possible. And then guess what? The people that hung around, they're like, no, I believe in this thing. And then all of a sudden it jumps out. I remember those days when it was fluctuating between like 6 and 10 grand. And today it's over 50,000 or right around there. My point is not anything to do with that. My point is when you believe in something, and now let's take that to our own personal belief. When we believe in it, whatever that is, whatever we're investing in, then we will give it time. We will fight, man. We will swim harder when those seas are rough. But when we don't care or when there's no meaning behind it, man, we're ready to jump ship at any second. Matter of fact, we might just dip our toe in and be like, sorry, it's too cold, I'm out, without giving it any kind of time. So what I want to ask you is, where do you invest your hours? How do you invest your hours? Because the moment you start to take account of what you're investing in, because you may say like, oh, I don't do much investing, Jeremy. Well, that's not true. Because in your life right now, you've invested a lot of time. You've created a lot of habits by investing time in those things, investing energy into those things that gets you where we are today. So how do I change, or what is the change that I want? If you want to be the best version of you, well, then I got to change something. I've got to invest in something different, because that's where the change happens. That's where my future lies. Your future right now is in your hands, because everything that's in your world at this moment, you created. And the moment you take responsibility for that, the moment that you understand that, is the moment that you free yourself up to have anything you want in this world, because then you know that you can create that as well. But it's going to take some change. It's going to take investment. It's going to take investing in you. It's going to take investing in your family. It's going to take investing in your future, because the future has not been written yet. You get to write it. But in order to do so, again, do I want change? Do I want something different? Then I must commit to investing in that in order to gain a return, or in order to have a better future. Because who we are today isn't good enough. Who we are right now isn't good enough. We have to be ready to create the new us, the new me. We have to create our future. And we do so by investing in ourselves, by getting up and making sure you hydrate, by getting up and making sure that you're moving, by doing things that are going to lead you to a better day. It starts with your morning, right? If you don't know who 𝗜ሕ𝘃𝗀𝘁 is, check him out. Big fan of Hal's. He wrote a book called The Miracle Morning. It's amazing. I highly recommend it. And all he talks about is how is getting your day set, getting your morning set, because a good morning leads to a good day. A good day leads to a good week to a month, and so on and so forth. But you know what it takes? It takes you investing in you, knowing that you're enough, caring that you're enough. Just like Morgan Housel talked about in The Psychology of Money, is that investors that were passionate about the company, and they were passionate about the leader, and they were passionate about the mission, they wouldn't jump off the boat. They'd sit this thing out. The people that were volatile for that first year, but then all of a sudden 10 years, right? Companies like Apple were all over the place in the beginning. Wouldn't you love to have been on at that $2 and $3 a stock 10, 15, 20 years later? Because the people that were invested, the people that believed in the company, they believed in the passion, they believed in the mission, they were still around. And guess what? Most of them made a fortune. And I'm not even talking about, I don't even care about the financial part. I'm talking about the same thing goes for you. That most people don't invest in themselves because we're so afraid that we need to create. You need to, and you'll hear it all the time. And I don't like the terms, oh, you need to love yourself. Yeah, true. But you build that love and you build that respect by building your integrity, by standing up for what you believe, by being the person that you want to be, by being the parent and the spouse and the even the coworker or the employee. Be the best in the world at it. Care. Care about you. And what you can do now is you can invest in you. It starts right in the beginning. And again, we have the free course, the Identity Creator course over at optimalself.today. It's literally a couple videos, a few minutes long with a worksheet. That's it. But what it does is it makes you reframe how you see yourself. And the way that you see yourself matters. Because when the seas get rough, are you jumping off the boat? Not caring about what time I get up, not caring about if I'm hydrated, not caring about what I put in my mouth, not caring about if I move, none of it, right? That can all change because you have to see yourself as that person you love, as that person who can build the future and shape your family's future. It's all in your hands. It's all in your hands. And we want to provide the platform and the ability for you to do so. So let's take it right now. All right. What is the one thing you can do that will make your day better? What's the one thing? Just do one. And let's commit and let's invest in that. Let's create it as a habit so that it becomes the one thing that I behaviorally do almost unconsciously that leads me to the best version of me. You can do it. I believe in you. I love you. I can't wait to see it. Write in the comments, share it below. If you know somebody out there that's struggling, hey, invest in them. There's nothing greater in this world than for us to help one another. So if you know somebody that's struggling or you see somebody that's struggling, invest in them. Let's invest in ourselves so we can invest in others, so that we can truly build a better world one person at a time. All right? That's what I got for you. Hope you had a great day. I hope you have an even better evening. And as always, get out there and be the best version of you.